Jury's mouth and water.
Yes. You know. Tēnā tēnā ka hokai ata kapa e tōkana ki te hokarangi ka hokai atu tūpuna tāne nui a rangi. E piki ai ki te rangi tūhaha ki te tihi o manonu. E roko hino atu a rāko i a mātua kore anaki. E rero iho ai te kete o te wananga ki te tuatea ko te kite tuauri ko te kite aronu. A turi tiri a ka pau ki a whapatonu. Ka puta te erotanga ki te whai a whanau haramai te toki. E me hui ai e. Whakawhetai whakamoe meti atu ki te atu i te rangi. A mo tēnei rā. E hui tātou, ki rungi i tēnei a kaupapa o tātou. E tino kaupapa, mō mātou, mō ngā hāpare horino Ameriku i tēnei wā. Nē te atua, mō tēnei huinga, whakawhetai whakamoti atu mō ake tono atu ai. Ka tika huri ki a rātou, nā mate o te motu, nā mate me ngā aitue e rungi a koutou, mauri a mai e nei, ki a hono ki nā mate me ngā aitue o tātou katoa. Nē mate haere pōpio ai. Ka tika mihi atu ki a rātou, nā councillors, kua mutu e tēnei wā, ana hoki kia mihi ki a rātou, nā kanohi hau, e wanganui a tātou. Reira, he teitei kura kua hinga, he teitei kura ka puta anō, ka haramai anō. Reira koutou, tēnā koutou nā mai, haramai ki rungi i tō mahi. He mahi motu hake, mo tātou, mo te tai ao, mo tō hapore, mo Aotearoa hoki. Reira, anyway, atu ki a koe, kia kaha, kia maia, kia manawa nui, kia mahi tō mahi motu hake. Reira, tēnā koutou. E muri a koutou, nā kai awhi, ai awhi ane i a koutou ki rungi i te huarahi e mui a tātou. Te iwi Māori, te iwi Pākehā, tātou katoa, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. O, mihi atu ki a koe i tōku rangatira, e tēnei wā, whakahaere tia tō tātou whare, tēnā koe, a tātou katoa. Tere huri whakaro ki a niku i tēnei wā, mo ta mahi, motu hake, e motu i aia. Tere he mihi poto ki a koutou, engare he paunamu, e paunamu. Huri whakaro ki nā ta kaha o ta hau i tērā wiki, he pupuri ana, nā reira, wina mahi e mui a tātou. So, just as a quick explanation, welcome everybody, new faces, those that are not so new, that have come to continue on the great work that is Environment Southland, the work that to look after our people, our communities, for their well-being, our peoples, right across, not just Southland, but the work that you do here has been leading over the years, and we've been very fortunate as Evie to be part of that, some of that real good work that's been part of the work that comes out of this organisation. So it's just a big welcome to the new faces. Some of them, just about every one of you we know from the work that the new faces that we're talking about, from the work that you've done in amongst your communities. So just a big welcome. You're on the table to work for us all and for our environment. So just a big welcome from us. And also just want to acknowledge those people that have been looking after, the ones that have been looking after you, but even out the whare out the back where we're dealing with the wind problem that we had last week and all those emergencies. So a big mihi to all of yous. With the wind, they say that there's a song we're going to sing now, and it talks about the cleansing. There's a big cleanse if that was what it was. And then allowing the space for all of yous to lead us on this table. So just a big mihi to you all. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou.
Ria nei,
E te hau,
horoia,
horoia, e te runga, piti e pitia, e te rā.
mahia ke ngā,
Raru, raru,
hongararu,
raru, makere ana, makere, makere ana, makere. Tēnā koutou, tēnā tātaka. Tēnā.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Nā mai kiti mana whenua. Te koni hera pō. Nai kai tātoko. Mingia kai mahi. Ui hau ia kaha tātou. Ki te mahi tahi. Nō te painga. A tātou hapori. No reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou, tēnā tātou, katoa. I'll give you that in English. And greetings to you all, and welcome to Ngāi Tahu. Many thanks. And welcome to the new council, supporters and family, and to also the staff. Let's work together for the benefit of our community. And so I greet you, I acknowledge you all. You We could have went out of that.
Yeah.
I think we've earned a couple of minutes. Let's have a short break.
This part of the proceedings are finished. We'll just have a quick cup of tea and then return.
From a study to Yep. Okay, let's kick off. Welcome to the 13th inaugural meeting of Environment South and South Regional Council. Before we start, I want to attend to a couple of housekeeping issues. The fire alarm. Our fire alarm is a continuous ringing bell. If it sounds, please exit the building in a calm and orderly way. There are 2 exits from the chambers, both signposted with green exit signs. The way you came in through reception doors and also through the side door. I think it's that one. And also, if you could assemble in the car park close to North Road. And if there's an earthquake, you know to drop, cover and hold. So the meeting protocol, this is a council meeting, and while it is open to members of the public, it is not a public meeting. Council meetings operate according to standing orders, which clearly lay out the process for all aspects of the meeting. So I will be sticking to the standing orders to ensure a fair and democratic process is followed and the meeting runs smoothly. It's important for people to know that there is no opportunity for members of the public to contribute to discussions, and I ask that you do not interrupt councillors or any of the speakers by commenting, interjecting or making any disruptions of any kind. People who are unable to abide by these rules will be asked to leave. Sounds pretty stern, doesn't it? It's my expectation that people will treat meetings with respect and that everyone will be respectful of one another and their views. Now onto the meeting itself. I will introduce you to Dean Wonga, Dean Fonga, who, for those of you who do not know Dean, he is from Te Marama, and he was part of the previous session, and he will provide a karakia. Yes, Dean. Here it is. Trying to escape at the back. Then can I ask you to come forward and to lead us in to do a karakia for us.
E kia atua nā tūpuna whakatautau rangi māre e tika pono ki rungi tēnei tepu. Kia whakao arahaine i a rātou, kia whai tika pono hua mō mātou mō ngā ria e tipu ake. Rei te atua nā tūpuna ka tēnei tēnei atu ki a koe. Mō ake tono atu ai. Kia ora tātou, all the best.
Thank you. The Local Government Act 2002 provides that the Chief Executive will chair the inaugural meeting until the chairperson is elected and is made and attested the declaration. So that's why you've got me sitting up here at the moment. It's very temporary. So we'll now call for any apologies, and I don't think we have any. So we'll move on to the next one, which is the declaration of interest. At this point, I have not been made aware of any declarations of interest by members. And so if we move to the procedure, which is on page 6 of the agenda. I'll take it as read, but I'll just a couple of things I'll highlight. So this is the process is determined by the Local Government Act 2002, and it's largely the provisions of Schedule 7 for those of you that are looking at X. It's there to have a look at. So I was required to call this meeting as soon as practical after the results of the election were known. And as I said, chaired by the acting CE or the nominee at this stage. And the process from here is first the members will make and attest the declaration, and I'll be inviting you to come forward in alphabetical order to do that. And then I'll be seeking a resolution on which voting system will apply, and that's outlined in the papers as well. And then thirdly, the chairman will be elected, and the person elected makes and attests the declaration required of a chairman. So that means the chairman will make and attest the declaration twice. At this point, the elected chairman will take the chair. And then there will be a general explanation of the laws that relate to regional councils and to councils. Will be official information Act of Meetings Act 1987 and other laws will be run through. And then we'll look for the date and time of the first meeting of the council, and it's fixed for 20th of November 2025. And the schedule of meetings is proposed to be adopted for the balance of the 25-26 financial year. And then sixthly, importantly, a deputy chairman is elected. And council will be asked also to deal with the matters in the staff report. So now we're at the stage where we'll make an attest the members' declaration, and I'll ask you to come forward in alphabetical order and make the declaration at the meeting. So copies of the declaration are available in both English and Maori, and it's entirely your choice as to which you choose to read. We will then both sign the declaration and you will return to your seat. Now, there's no requirement to make the declaration on the Bible, but if you wish to do so, there is a Bible here at the table for you to hold while you make your declaration. So now I'll call councillors forward. So can I start with Evans Paul Charles? How do we do this? In the Bible. Again, if you so wish, or you don't need to, but you can, or you can make your declaration.
Sorry, I need my glasses. It's close up stuff. I, Paul Charles Evans, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Southland region the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Southland Regional Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, and any other act.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Simon. Fantastic. Gibson Alistair Keith.
I, Alistair Keith Gibson, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and in accordance with the best of my skills and judgments execute and perform in the best interests of Southland Region the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Southland Regional Council by virtue of the Local Government Acts 2002 and the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act.
Thank you. So, thank you. Yes. Hodson Roger John William.
I, Roger John William Hodson, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Southland region the powers authorised, duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Southland Regional Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Ludlow Elindor Ruth.
I, Lyndall Ludlow, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Southland region the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Southland Regional Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, and any other act.
In Vale, Jeremy Adams.
I, Jeremy Adams McPhail, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Southern region the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Southern Regional Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Matheson, Ewan Alexander. Not forget these, please.
Yeah.
I, Ewan Alexander Matheson, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Southland region the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Southland Regional Council by virtue of Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Morrison Philip John.
I, Philip John Morrison, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Southland region the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Southland Regional Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Pemberton Jonathan Rodney.
I, Jonathan Rodney Pemberton, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Southern region the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Southern Regional Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Rodway Morris Allen.
I, Lawrence Allen Rodway, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Southern region the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Southern Regional Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. Rob?
Rose, David Preston Stewart.
I, David Preston Stewart Rose, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interest of the Southland region the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Southland Regional Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Eric Wilbur.
I, Eric Wilbur, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Southland regions the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Southland Regional Council by virtue of the Local Government Act of 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act of 1987, or any other act.
Thank you. Thank you. And young Jeffrey Allen, who's online, I understand. Can you see him anywhere there?
Yes, we can't hear him.
Could you unmute Jeffrey?
Speaker on, Jeff.
He's in Christchurch.
Can you unmute? Are you having trouble unmuting? You know the feeling, but. Any IT, can we any IT help here?
There
we go. There we go.
My apologies.
Are you able to read the declaration?
I, Jeffrey Allen Young, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Southland region the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Southland Regional Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Thank you.
Rob, would you like me to sign this and show you the form?
What's the procedure? Yes, that'd be good.
You can see that?
Can you lift it up a little bit? Yep. That's great. Perfect. I think that's meets the requirements. Yes. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
So thanks very much for that. You're now councillors. Before calling for the election of a chairperson, we'll turn to item 6 on the agenda, the selection of a voting system. So we have two options here. System A requires a person to receive the votes of the majority of the members present and voting. System B requires the person elected to receive more votes than any other candidate. In the event of a tie in any round of voting, the matter is to be resolved by lot. So the details of these systems are set out in the standing orders, which are appended to this agenda on page 22, 23, for those of you who wish to look at these in any detail. So, so can I, looking for some recommendations to first of all receive the report, and then to use either System A or System B. So can
Move the report be received.
Second.
all in favour? And secondly, have a move for which system you would like to use. Is there any questions on the system?
Just point of clarification, first Chair. Normally we opt for option A, don't we?
You don't have to.
No, I know, but that's been our form.
That's been certainly in the time I've been involved. Yes.
Can I move to go with option A?
We have a seconder? Yep, seconder. Can we, all in favour?
Aye.
I think that's carried. Right, so we have System A. I now call for a nomination for the position of chairperson. Do you have any nominations?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Councillor Jeremy McPhail.
And I'll second that.
I'll second that.
Moved and second. Do we have a, are there any further nominations? No further nominations. I declare the nominations closed. It's appropriate. Making sure that I'm following process here. Wouldn't want to get this bit wrong. So
Declare.
Can we have a show of hands, please? Can we? So we've got a nomination and a seconder, and so all those in favour, can you please raise your hands? Looks pretty unanimous. Thank you. Unanimous support. I'm pleased to declare Councillor McPhail as elected as chairperson. Come forward and take the chairperson's. Where are we? Just want some paperwork here. Make sure we get it. Here it is. Good. It was a test.
I, Jeremy McPhail, declare that I will faithfully, impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interest of the Southern Region the powers and authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as chairperson of the South Regional Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Good questions. I think I now hand over the meeting to Jeremy. Create some space for that.
We get to say a couple of words.
Yes,
Rob. Slow things down.
Kia ora, everyone. Thank you. It's a real honour to accept the role of Chair of Environment South, and I'm humbled by the confidence my fellow councillors have shown in me. And I'm proud to serve alongside such a dedicated and passionate team. Having spent 9 years as a councillor, I've seen the huge commitment this organisation and our communities share in caring for Southland's land, water and our people. As a farmer myself, I understand the practical challenges our rural sector faces, and also to know how deeply our communities value the environment we all depend on. The strength of Southland lies in our ability to work together, to have open conversations and to find balanced, practical solutions that protect both our environment and our livelihoods. As Chair, my focus will be on a collaboration and transparency. We'll continue to work closely with iwi partners, local councils, industry and community groups. Together we can continue to make progress on the issues that matter most, improving water quality, building resilience to climate change, which we felt probably a wee bit last week, and supporting sustainable land use across our region. I want to acknowledge those who have led before me. Their dedication has built a strong foundation for this council, and I'm committed to continuing that legacy with integrity, fairness, and a clear focus on the outcomes for the people of Southland. To my colleagues around the table, thank you for your trust. To the staff of Environment Southland, thank you for your commitment and expertise. And to the people of Southland, we serve you. We will continue to listen, engage, and act for the good of this region we all love. Thank you. Right, we'll carry on. Business as usual. Yeah. So are we on to item 8? Yes. Are you going to go through the explanations? Or the 15 men?
Yeah, I'll briefly look to see if anyone wants to go into any detail. But so this is the laws of 50 members. There's a number of them there that are listed, and they are summarised in the page 98 on. Local Government Official Information Act and Meetings Act 1987, Local Government Act 2022. So a number of those there, just making the point that the LGOIMA should not be confused with the Official Information Act, which is similar in form but applies to government agencies rather than local government. Yeah, there's the details here, and I guess I'm assuming it's read, and you can refer to this as you need to through your next training.
Okay. Anybody got any questions or anything to clarify?
Well, I did make a point that I just compare yesterday, so I have had a brief glance, but I haven't read it verbatim yet. So it's
noted just a bit of nighttime reading over the next wee while.
Yeah,
Should help you sleep.
Only if you're really tired. Only if you're really sleepy.
I'll move the recommendations, Chair.
Second it. John, second it. All in favour, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Yeah, number 9, fixing the first ordinary meeting of the council. Received report. What's the date?
So take it as read, Mr. Chair.
Any questions in regards to that? Everybody happy? We've got ahead of us, so no, we're all happy with that. So we'll someone receive the report and happy with the setting the date for the first meeting. Move, Morris.
Mr. Chair, just about the meeting with Southport, can we indicate who would go to that? Was that the right time to do that? Is that right?
The next one actually.
We'll get an item, we'll deal with that. Of course. All good. Are you happy to move?
Yeah.
Morris, second it. Lindor. All in favour, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Into the election of deputy chairman. Is that correct? Yes. Item 10. Okay. So we'll call for nominations on the election of deputy chairman of the council. Alistair.
I'd like to nominate Philip Morrison.
Okay. Second for that. John, do you second that? Okay. Do we have any other nominations for deputy? Close that. Looks all good. Actually, don't have to vote for those. Do we still do? Okay.
Okay, all in favour of, we have one nomination, Phil, you're happy to be involved? Yeah, all in favour, raise their hands. Yes. Congratulations, Phil. Anything to say? You've always got plenty.
Plenty of time in the next 3 years to say something.
No, well done. Okay, we'll move on. So we'll go to item 11, appointment of the other committees. There's obviously there are some that we'll won't be doing today, but we'll go through the right. If you want to just read through this a bit, or
Yeah, so we've got a workshop on 12th of November coming up, and we'll be discussing the committee structure and committees for the new term, and it's on that point. So it's not proposed to make any appointments to the standing committees at this point, and they'll be dealt with it. There are two trusts the council currently has named representatives on, Southern Heritage Building Preservation Trust and the Wakamana Te Tuna Charitable Trust. With regard to the Southern Heritage Building Trust, Councillor Little is currently a trustee and chair of this trust. Trust is in the process of winding up, and former Chairman Horrible is the co-chair of the Wakamana Te Tuna. These appointments have been authorised by each of the trustees pertaining to the relevant trusts. Council will need to decide who the trustees, who its trustees will be on these trusts if they differ from the current arrangements, and undertake a formal process to make the necessary changes. So it's, yes, the recommendations are there here, and there's also an outline of the other committees there, that's including the Regional Transport Committee.
we can go through it. So start off with, obviously, Linda, were you happy to carry on?
I feel it's my duty to help that come to its conclusion, Chairman.
Yeah.
I'll move the recommendation on 1 to 3 on page 108.
Well, we can we've got to actually appoint for first consideration. Sorry. So, does anybody, we've got a seconder?
Just point of clarification, the date of the ordinary meetings, the 20th, not the 19th. So we just correct that.
Everybody, got the 20th. I'll get the recommended. Eric's moved in second. David seconded. All in favour, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. We'll move on to the Regional Transport Committee. There are recommendations. I have chaired this for the last 3 years and been involved with it. So people have read the report in regards to that. We must put we have to put a committee together in regards to this as part of legislation about the transport side of things. So happy to discuss and hear people's thoughts on this.
Do we need to have that done today?
Yeah, it's
The aim is to establish the joint committee so that it's actually in place and you can invite members on. So we do actually need to amend the recommendation because it doesn't mention the establishment of the committee, and we need to do that. That's all. You don't need to actually appoint your representatives today. You could wait until the next meeting on the 20th of November to do that.
Would that be good?
Because there was a request, and I think with Rob, that we wanted to have a look at the Taranaki system. So
This is different from Alec.
it's all the side committees.
Yeah, it's sort of a
This is one that has to be established by legislation.
So we don't have any say and we've got to do it. But we're probably happy to, I mean, Linda, we've got a couple of questions. Linda?
Well, I was just going to suggest a recommendation be that we begin the process of establishing the necessary committee and appoint our representatives at a later date.
Maybe on the 20th. So,
I think
Eric?
it's
Just a point of clarification for new members, it is set by legislation and it's normally co-chaired by the two appointments of the Otago Regional Council and the Southland Regional Council, given that the territorial authorities are deemed to be a little bit more precise, whereas the regional council cover a larger area, and I would imagine that that will continue. So one of our nominees will probably be a co-chair when we actually settle on who the reps are.
But we've just got to.
Yeah, we're just setting up the system now.
Our regional transport, and it joins with the Otago. But I'm sorry. Is that all?
Through your chair, do we have a suggested wording for recommendation then?
Would be that council note the report and resolve pursuant to the Land Transport Management Act 2004 and subsequent amendments, establish a regional transport committee, defer this and other council appointments to the regional transport committee to the ordinary meeting of council on the 20th of November. And that follows on in your agenda 3, seek nominations for appointed representatives of the following organisations to its regional transport committee: City Council, Southland District Council, Hore District Council, and New Zealand Transport Agency. Noting that these appointments will be confirmed by a subsequent resolution of council.
So this is kicking off the process for establishing a committee.
So,
I'll move those.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Dave seconded. No further discussion. All in favour, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Then we move on to the Southland Civil Defence Emergency Management Group representation, which is a joint council committee. Speak anything to that?
I think it's taken as read, and this is about kicking off the process for establishing that committee. We'll be part of it, and then we'll also decide the membership later.
Okay.
The recommendation is that you appoint the chairman as the representative on this occasion,
So,
and an alternate.
so we can do that anyway.
Yes,
We change if
you can defer it if you wish to.
I know, but in regards to I'm just trying to see what people feel. Could be a wee bit of discussion around who could best represent us on that. May not be me. In regards to skills and things that may be just involved in that. Obviously, we had Neville Cook, who was a
Just a point of clarification, are we required to do that at this time? Because it's not something we've had time to digest in terms of best skill set. And if we can defer it to our council meeting, I'd certainly recommend we do that.
It's a decision of council. You need to establish the joint committee.
Yeah,
So we can kick off the process. That's what has to be done. So what we're saying, Jan, membership could wait, just so we're clear.
You can delay your appointments.
Chairman, we could delete recommendation 3 in that case, and continue with the 1, 2, and 4.
Can I just ask, you have delegated authority at the stage still? You've lost me. So I'm just saying that obviously, sorry, Amy, you might be our powers.
Yes, sorry, I think the chairperson automatically.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
The appointee, but the chairperson is enabled to appoint an alternate, which I understand was what happened in previous trainings as well. I'd also be suggesting, given the current state of the emergency situation that's been declared in Southland, it may be prudent to make an appointment at this time. Whether you want to appoint an alternate at this time might be a decision that you could defer. But and again, you may not want to do that either, given the current state.
I think it's important to have someone there. Because we didn't think we'd be sitting here after the last week, what we're dealing with. So it needs to be a continuation. So I take it that
I've sort of spoken to you about this one.
Yeah.
I would be quite keen to look at it.
Yeah.
Depending on what everybody else around the table thought, but whether I have skills enough to do it.
We have support.
Thank you, Chair. Through you, I was thinking very much the same during these times that we're going through. We're in a state of emergency. It would be good to have you and also an alternate, especially at this time. And I think we should make some sort of decision on that. And around the table of council, people with skills and background, I would recommend Councillor Morrison with his army training, but that would be totally up to him if he would be interested. I just think that would be the most prudent and sensible thing to do.
Can I make Morris? Sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's a little bit early to appoint the, as we haven't really had much chance to think about that. I'm not saying that the people that put up their hand wouldn't be suitable in the end, but I think we should, in relation to number 3, Lyndall said we should remove it, but I think it needs to stay in, except for the bit about appointing the other councillor, and that should be done at our next council meeting.
Yeah, I think personally, I think I'll be the representative till we get that. I'm sure that we, yeah, appointee. Makes sense. We've got to have the system in place as fast. I'm sure there's other people that are probably had that job than myself, but I need to fill that gap till we sort it out and have a good discussion about everybody's skill for.
So if I may, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move the recommendation of that alteration to number 3, which says that the appointed councillor as XX as an alternative at the next council meeting.
Yep. Are we any discussion on that, or are we all happy in regards to that, Roger?
I'm just conscious of the current situation in terms of being in a state of emergency and the merit in having both someone as the representative and a second available. And then secondly, it's a question of clarification, just wanting to understand whether there's an opportunity for changes to be made subsequently to appointments.
Lucy, if you want to
Yes.
around this.
So my preference would be that you are the chairman and therefore the power sit with you in the short term. If you choose in the future to add an alternative to delegate to, that's a decision of council to make. Whilst we're in the state of emergency, the other mayors will be being elected over the next 24 hours. Those are your alternates should you need to declare or extend the transition to recovery phase. It doesn't have to be Councillor McPhail, Chairman McPhail's shoulders to do that. So there is other alternatives in place for you in the interim.
Yes, I would endorse Councillor Rodway's suggestion of appointing the alternate later on.
Okay. So you happy to move that, Morris?
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, that'll be.
Yes.
I'll second that. Okay, all no discussion. I'll put that. All in favour, say aye. Against? Carry. I will move into the other bodies. Tiropo.
This is it's outlined
here. Basically, it's tonight report and
yeah,
it's joint meeting with the other councils. We happy with their other people can join that. Is anybody, I know Morris, Lyndall?
I'm happy to move the recommendations. That's about establishing the committee as we've already discussed with the other committees. So
yep.
Happy to move 1 and 2.
We can second that. Any discussion? I'll put that. All in favour, say aye. Against? Carried. Regional Sector Group.
and it's
Sounds.
under Local Government New Zealand Act, under Local Government New Zealand, and it's the chairman as the council was appointed a representative on that group.
Okay. Someone happy about? We all happy with that? Yep. Phil.
Regional Sector Group now.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you got a motor to move it for that?
Phil's moved it.
I'll
second it. Second it. All in favour, say aye. Against? Carried. Bluff Maritime Museum Trust Board. I can see here. I've been looking after that for many years. Again,
Note the report and
defer it to.
I'll move recommendations 1 and 2 in the middle of page 112.
Yep. All in favour, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried.
and And Great South is the council's regional development organisation, and the chairman of the council is a representative on the joint shareholders committee. This is a noting and
Those two notes recommend, can I have a mover in regards to that, if there's any no discussion? Phil, Lyndall, speaking it. All good, all good. I'll put that, all in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Right, item 12, against the local government New Zealand zone meeting.
so this is
Well, we have to make an appointment today because we don't have another council meeting until the 20th, and I'd be happy to move the recommendations and the nomination of Lyndall, who's been very much involved with this zone 6 meetings over the past term. So I'd be happy to insert her name in XXX.
And some others.
Yeah, just.
Misery loves company.
It's up to council. You've not restricted numbers going to Dunedin 1 week.
Yeah, right. So is anybody else interested in? Well,
I'd be here to.
yep.
I'll submit.
Just take a bus.
Money bus.
But I mean, no, like it's probably important to get involved, get new.
Very
new-
accessible in Dunedin.
Yeah, but it's pretty handy. That's so not too costly. So who've got Phil, Roger, David, and Lyndall? Who happy with that?
Seems like a very good cross reference of.
Sorry.
It seems like a very good cross reference of new.
Yeah.
I'm happy to include those 4 names in the motion.
Right, I have a mover here. Someone want to second that? You? I'll put that all in favour, say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Right, move into, item 13, is move into public secluded business. Somebody asked public to. Cup of tea?
Public to deal with item 13.1 Southport New Zealand Limited annual meeting.
Stored it away.
Reason is to allow council
Wait,
to carry out commercial activities without prejudice or disadvantage, section 728.
Bill, move. Roger, you're gonna say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Right.
And we need to.
Okay.
Check one off.